Here's a question from Denise. Just curious, have you guys made back the initial investment on the Anna Man? Also, why isn't there an Anna Woman? God bless. I'll tell you what, I don't have the answer to the second question, and it will be my life's mission to find out why. I will stop by Flowserve. I will stop by the Fleet Company here in Lynchburg, and I will find that out. The first question is yes. I don't want to give everything away with that because I want to do a video when the last one sells someday and just track everything for you. But let's just say we have long since recouped our initial investment. So thanks for the question. A question from Steven. Does the quality of packaging tape matter when shipping? I ask because I'm almost out of my Scotch packaging tape, and I bought in December at Costco, which is 3.1 millimeters thick. It's pricey compared to the bulk packaging tape options on eBay, which are generally 2. I want to avoid the cheaper stuff if it means my boxes will take more tape and not hold together as much. So, first of all, let me say that I am a tape nightmare, according to most people. I way over tape. I've got some compulsive issues, I think. But that issue aside, let me say that I think the tape matters to some degree. I don't think it matters so much that I would pay Costco prices. So the tape that I have I think I've listed a couple. I might have listed a couple of different ones, high end, and then the stuff that I use in the descriptions, I think. I can't even remember what I have in there, to be perfectly honest with you. But I would say it's almost, I would say 99% of the time, most people are going to agree that you're much better off buying tape in bulk from either eBay or Amazon or something like that than paying Costco prices. So give it a shot, and if you hate it, go back to it. But I think it's worth a shot. Here's a question from Aussie Steve. He says, Commonwealth cabin is looking great. Thanks for showing it. Quick question, are you still going to be filming in the eBay cave, or will the cave be closing down when you move to the cabin? Just wondering, as I like to see what you have on the shelves in the eBay cave as you talk, or will you set something like the shelves in the cabin? So if you look at that video, if you watch the whole thing, you'll see that I have a basic setup that's pretty similar to in here. And I'll have shelves just to my left in the video, and then that one shelf in the back. So I purposely set it up like that, and it'll be similar to this. And we will probably split the shows. We'll probably do half in there, is my guess, but we'll see. Thanks for the question, Aussie Steve. Question from Tom. What size is the cabin? 12 by 28, but my daughter just had to have the front porch. So it's really 12 by 24. But it does have those 2 little lofted areas to help out as well. Pre-built or built on site? Pre-built and built on site, sort of. Finished. And I've never heard of a pickle Tupperware. Yeah, I sell a bunch of those things. So anyway, thanks, Tom. All right, here's a question. I can't find a bulk edit link on eBay anywhere. I need to change my handling time from 3 to 1 days on 30 listings. Any tips? So what I do is I go to my seller hub, find my active listings, and manage. You can manage your active listings, and there's an edit button right there. Matter of fact, I think I have it pulled up here. Hold on a minute. So manage your active listings, and then there's all of the active listings that I have right there, and best offer, edit right there, and you would go through and you'd edit, and you'd pick out what you want to edit, how many listings you want to edit. You can click on each one if you want, and you just do the editing. But you may need to access that, you may need Seller Hub, so you may not have Seller Hub. That's what you need to look for, and you may actually have to either pay for Seller Hub or you have to have a store for Seller Hub. So that I need to check out, but hopefully that'll get you started. Here's a question. What size boxes do you use for smaller items? So I have a 4x4x4, I have a 6x4x4, I have a 7x2x4, and I have a 5x5 and an 8x6x4. So, I ship a ton of stuff. I buy a lot of stuff. So I go ahead and I stock up on all those. I buy them in bulk, and I buy them in a huge number, so they're pretty cheap. So hopefully that answers your question, and it's difficult to answer the second one. Do you weigh every item before you list it? Not necessarily. Some items I do, most I don't. Most I've just sold 10 times, so I know what they sell for. At least you got to get close. If you're doing calculated shipping, if you're close. If you're under 16 ounces, then you're under 16 ounces, and you can kind of factor that cost in because you have a pretty good control over it. All right, here's a good question. It says, ever get any backlash for using plastic bags when shipping? I get a lot and usually donate them to a local thrift store. Good way to use more. Thanks. So what she means is plastic bags from like Walmart or a grocery store. And here's the deal. I'm pretty careful on what items I'll use that on. I only use it as filler, and I'll only use it for cheap items. You know, you don't want to sell an item for 50 bucks and package it with Walmart shopping bags. Even though it'll probably be safe, that's not the issue. It just looks bad. So I think I use them, just to recycle them and use them instead of chucking them. And I use them for filler for cheap items. So there's my kind of rule of thumb. And no, I've never had anybody complain. Not yet anyways. Cross my fingers, knock on wood. All right, here's a question and it says, thanks for the video. Curious, you use poly mailers instead of clear bags inside some of your shipping packages. Is it just similar in cost, or do you suggest clear bags inside packaging versus poly mailers? Clear bags are better. I have some. I need to order more. They're cheaper, but I buy the poly bags in such gigantic bulk that it's fairly cheap. So we're talking a penny or two. I probably should use the clear bags all the time, but it's just convenience a lot of times, to be honest with you. So I would say clear bags, even though you don't see me always do it. I just want to show you a pirate ship difference here. So the Region A box, these are some license plates I'm shipping out to Utah. The Region A box is cheaper than regular priority mail. It's $13.09 for regular priority mail if you look in the bottom right-hand corner. And the Regional A box would be cheaper, $10.80. But I knew this was like a heavy box, you know, almost 3 pounds, but really small cubically. And so I decided I would check Pirate Ship. And Pirate Ship is $8.15. So definite win for Pirate Ship. It's a question from Danny May. She says, off subject, but I've seen you buy items and donate a few dollars for the cause, or just make it an even number. Do you add that into the cost of goods or count it as a donation? I hadn't ever really thought about it, to be honest with you. I guess I just chalk it up to a donation, and I don't use it against cost of goods at all. So I probably don't do either. For tax purposes, I assume is what you're asking. Thanks for the question. All right, here's a question. It seems to save so much time to print labels last and stick them on, but you must have a good system so you don't get them mixed up. Do you look each package over to put the weights in before printing them? So yes. If you're going to do bulk printing, you do have to put the weights and dimensions in all before you hit print and make sure everything is set. And then once that's done, it's actually pretty simple. They give you a list, and they're in the order that the items have been printed off. And you just simply look at the two together. You know, you look at double check the address with the item, and then find that item and put it on it. That's what I'm writing a lot of times on those items, just to identify the item. So far I've only made one mistake in thousands and thousands of listings. So hopefully that continues. Madeline has a question. Do you put clear tape over your stick-on mailing shipping labels? I used to, when I used different kinds of labels, and I'd have enough room to put it over, not the barcode part, because they don't want you to do that, either the little code at the top or the barcode, but I would put it over the address itself. That's just because I'm OCD. Now I don't at all. There's not enough space to do it anyways, and I've never had a problem either way. This question's from Juan. Hi, can anyone help me on this question? USPS has DVD boxes on their website. Can you put a media postage on those? You would think so, but they're priority mail, so the answer is no, you cannot.